Woo! That is a cup of coffee. And I don't know what it is, but everything since Donald Trump got elected president is tasting better, feeling better, looking better. I feel like a kid again. I keep saying this and I think about it every single day, and this is not me pandering to the Patriots, but I feel like a sense of sanity is back in the air. Almost like nostalgia, how things were when we were kids of, hey, a guy's in office, he's keeping us safe, he's limiting government. We can now focus on our lives and not focus so much on government, as government has been destroying our lives for so long. Case in point, what we're finding out from Elon Musk, Donald Trump, hell, everybody. And folks, I keep reminding everybody it's only been 3 weeks. We have 4 years, baby, of nothing but turning the ship around. And Democrats are doing everything they can with the federal judges, with their activism, all this crazy stuff, trying to go against the grain, which I still can't wrap my head around, that the Democrat Party can't just follow suit for once, going, hey, right now you got a guy in office that's trying to cut your taxes. He's trying to alleviate the inflation that your guy created and also make America great again. And that can mean all sorts of different things. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, they are whining and complaining. Anyways, good morning, Patriots. Yeah, I started on one today. It's good to see all of you. Smash that like button early on. It really does help support the show. I wouldn't ask you to do it if it didn't. It really does push our videos out there to new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel, which clearly, if you're on TikTok, a lot of people are loving our content because that video has over 200,000 views as of this morning. So a lot of people are liking it. We're great. We're gaining a lot of traction on TikTok. So much so that if it sticks around, I'm going to start streaming the show on there along with Rumble and YouTube so we can reach a lot more people and get the news out to a lot more Patriots. Well, folks, enough of me ranting. Let's jump into the news. We got Musk, Vance, Donald Trump, the three musketeers, baby, the trio. They're coming out to get DOGE staffer back after Journo tries to destroy him. Oh, they were going after Donald Trump's teenagers. And I don't know why, folks. Teenagers, some of them are freaking smart, high IQs. And, leave it up to the Democrats, the judges, the media to try to ruin everything for us. They couldn't, again, like I said, go along the path with everybody else. So after Department of Government Efficiency, early morning, DOGE staffer resigned this week due to pressure. He's just a kid. From a Wall Street Journal reporter with a background at the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, Elon Musk, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump all stepped in to get the 25-year-old back, baby, on the DOGE team. You notice how Trump's taking care of everybody, JD's taking care of everybody, Elon Musk is taking care of everybody because they want to make America great again. And who else are they taking care of, folks? All of us, baby, the taxpayers, the patriots, the citizens. You got Marco, is it Elez? I don't know what the hell his name is. Resigned on Thursday after journalist Catherine Long dug up social media posts published under a new deleted pseudonym. Some of the alleged posts include, "You cannot pay me to marry outside of my ethnicity," "normalize Indian hate," and "just for the record, I was racist before it was cool." People need to understand a lot of these young people were gamers or are gamers. There's things people say online that they don't actually mean. There's a lot of things that I'm sure could be dug up from when I was a kid that I would look back and go, yeah, that was a really stupid thing to say. Or, man, that was a really idiotic thing to do. And I think we can all do that. And for some reason, Democrats expect you to be holier than thou, like the second coming of Christ good, from birth till like present time, as if you never made mistakes before. Folks, I'm sure all of us could dig up a clip of me over the last 4 years saying something that was outrageous or stupid. And I would probably agree with you. I would probably look at the clip with you alongside you going, yeah, why did I say that? What the hell was wrong with me? And that's the nature of growing, is to look at the things that you said and see how you progress through your life to be normal and to grow and mature. But that's not how the media looks at it. They need some story, right? They need some story to look at. Donald Trump's team is racist. Donald Trump's team's bigoted. And he's giving authority to a bunch of youngsters that are racist. To a bunch of youngsters that want to sit there and make your life horrible. How about the old people that have been making our life horrible for the last 4 years plus? How about that one? Sorry for all the older people in the chat. I'm 35. Turning 36 soon. I'm getting up there, okay? Come on. Musk ran a poll Thursday asking users to weigh in on the ouster. 78% of the respondents said the staffers should be brought back. So these guys that he brought in, folks, aren't like idiots, man. These kids are freaking intelligent. At like 16 years old, they're starting businesses. Go find a Democrat that started a business at 16. I'm telling you, it's a needle in a haystack. Hell, even for Republicans and conservatives, it's a needle in a haystack. Well, it's not just the media trying to dump people. Trump's also dumping people too. Trump dumps Kennedy Center board, puts immediate end to drag shows for kids. Now, if you're new to my channel, new to my show, about 2-3 years ago, I was covering the drag show stuff, the LGBTQ, trying to trans your kids, the activism that's going on in the school system, the undercover stuff where clubs were being created to try to trans your kids without parental acknowledgement, sometimes even without the administration's acknowledgement, where they would make a club that was designed to be something, but it was actually something else. I'll put it this way. We were going so hard on this type of stuff that not only was I being attacked for it and getting threats, but Project Veritas, back when James O'Keefe ran it, even highlighted our channel back then. A small channel where I think I only had like 5,000 subscribers was going so hard in the paint to protect children that even James O'Keefe highlighted us on Project Veritas, baby. Well, end of drag shows. It's about damn time. Donald Trump, in my direction, we're going to make the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. great again. I've decided to immediately terminate multiple individuals from the board of trustees, including the chairman, who do not share our vision for a golden age in arts and culture. We will soon announce a new board with an amazing chairman, Donald J. Trump. Oh, baby, that a boy. Just last year, the Kennedy Center featured drag shows specifically targeting our youth. They will stop. This will stop. The Kennedy Center is an American jewel and must reflect the brightest stars on its stage from all across our nation. For the Kennedy Center, the best is yet to come. Do you guys feel like Christ and the Lord is having, like, is bringing back the globe to focus on him again? Like, yeah, I understand, like, saying normalizing everything, but I'm talking about when I saw all this activism, wanting to trans your kids, doing horrible things to children, lopping off their genitals, giving them hormone enhancers, puberty blockers, gender affirming care, all this evil stuff. I really do think it's evil. I do not think it's Christ-like. I don't know. I don't think so. Putting on drag shows, like having your children tip grown men that are waving their wee-wee in front of little kids' faces in their thongs and stuff like that. That's not normal. That is evil stuff. It feels and seems like things are coming back to putting Christ back in our view, back in our vision. And I really do think, yes, it somewhat started with the assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life. I think it started before then. I really do. I think that was just in full display for all of us to see that I'm here and I'm ready for to be loved again. I'm ready to be focused on again. And I'm talking about Christ, folks. I really do believe that. Because what I'm seeing right now is a total culture shift. If anybody saw a lot of the commercials, a lot of them weren't woke. Some of them were. A lot of them were geared towards women, which I thought was kind of interesting because it's the Super Bowl. I mean, I hate to say it, ladies. I know a lot of women watch it. Come on. I'm just saying that, hey, you know, you got the burly guys drinking some good beer and eating some nachos and has Cheeto dust all over their chest, watching the game with the boys, getting drunk. But there's a culture shift. I'd be curious what the Super Bowl looks like next year. I also want to point out, yeah, you know, let's call that out. Chris RD44, the Josh Shapiro had a part in it. Something smells funky about that. That's all I'm going to say now. I'm going to hold off. Josh Shapiro being involved in Donald Trump's assassination, and I'm going to leave it at that. Something, it doesn't pass my smell test, and so I want to hold off. That's why I have not covered it. Okay, so I'm aware of it. I'm aware of a lot of news. I'm one of those guys that I tend to try to hold off on things before I go full blown, just smackety-roo. But thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. You're damn right. Now, I want this to stop, but it's going to take a lot more to stop the progressive left, you guys. And what I mean by that is Donald Trump's making great moves here. He can only do so much. These people, these activists on the progressive side of the aisle are willing to take down companies. Y'all remember that? They're willing to take down Disney, Marvel. Hell, it don't matter what it is. Major corporations for the sake of pushing their agenda. It didn't matter how much money you lost. It didn't matter if there's a boycott. They didn't care. What mattered to them was pushing an agenda that was completely fabricated. And what do I mean by that? It was completely fabricated because, as Elon Musk is exposing, and folks, it's only been really for him 2.5 weeks. He is exposing how our money paid for the promulgation, the uprising of their narrative that was completely fabricated. Black Lives Matter received millions, completely fabricated. Now it's making sense who paid for all these protests. Now it's making sense how we burned down our own cities with our own money. All this stuff was being distributed in some way, shape, or form. And I'm calling for where'd the money come from? Not just where the money come from. What I mean by that is who signed on for this? Like, who was the guy that created this? Hey, let's go trans some monkeys in the safari desert or whatever the hell. You know what I mean? I'm just making something up. I want to know names is what I want. This is all fine and dandy, like finding out, oh, USA ID did this stuff. I want names, man. And these people need to be put on a chopping block and out of government immediately. Republican, conservative, Green Party, I don't care who the hell you are. If Ted Cruz is on that list and he created transing pelicans on the coast of Florida, hell, I don't know. You're out, Ted. Sorry, bud, but that's not a wise way of spending my money. I don't want these senators voted for this 2,000-page bill and what you just said was incorporated in that bill. No. No, that's not what I want. I want the person that created that line item. I want that person gone. Never able to be elected again. That's what I want. And, well, I'll show you why I want it, too, because USAID aid was found in a Hezbollah cache. Oh, isn't that just fine and dandy? Now, I will say, they definitely pulled this all out and then made it a photo op. I'm pretty sure. Now, could this have been, I always give the benefit of the doubt, right, Patriots? Could this have been something that was planted? Yes. Take it with a grain of salt. But based on everything I've seen so far, I'm leaning towards believing, yeah, this was there. In Lebanon, an Israeli Defense Force IDF soldier reported discovering USAID humanitarian aid packages within a Hezbollah weapons cache, raising questions about the distribution of misuse of such aid. I believe it. Oh, yes, I do. I tend to believe it. Why? Because Joe Biden was funding Al-Qaeda. Joe Biden was funding Taliban. Joe Biden was funding giving humanitarian aid of $10 billion that we were told was frozen for the Iranians, to be told that it's no longer frozen and they could tap into it, with the Iranian spokesperson coming out and saying, hey, it's our money to do what we want with. Really? Because it's our money and we get to tell you what you get to do with it. But yet, because Joe Biden had no backbone, they just got to do whatever they want, which means terrorism. I mean, you are seeing the full corruption of the Democrat Party, man. And Democrats, they don't know what to do. I've said this. You want to know why they're spazzing out right now? Is because Elon hasn't actually gotten to the stuff that you're going to crap your pants over. Some of us are already doo-dooed our pants, like Joe Biden going, I can't believe it, Ted. Ted, get in here. Ted, get away from the food and put the dinner down, you animal. Get in the living room and watch what Brad is saying. They're spending $60 billion, Ted. $60 billion. This is nuts. Wait till we start auditing other avenues. The Pentagon's being audited right now. You all know they haven't passed 6 consecutive plus audits. I think it's up to 7 now. So Pete Hegseth's involved in that. I'm imagining money being funneled to actual, like, evil, scummy people. The stuff we're going to find out over the next year is going to blow us all away, and I just got goosebumps saying it. Because like I said, this is a big deal to me. This is what I prayed for. This is what I prayed for. I'll be honest with you guys, a lot of things I'm seeing right now, I just never thought I'd get in my lifetime. I really didn't. I am so much on cloud nine still from election night. It's bonkers, man. It is freaking head spinning. And I get to hang out with you guys for the next 4 years plus. Well, however long we get to do this, but 4 years at least, right? And we get to share this moment together. A lot of us, man, we were here streaming the Donald Trump assassination, just didn't mean to, just wanted to watch the guy talk. But now we get to all be in here together and siphon through this and just live through it. Are we not lucky, man? I mean, I'm lucky I get to hang out with you guys, but I mean, we're lucky to have Donald Trump in office because he's exposing all this stuff. Look at this. Look at this. And we were this close. This close from having Kamala Harris or hell, even Joe back in office. We would have never found out about this. It would have only gotten worse. And then we'd be sitting here going, why the fuck is everything so expensive? Where's all our money going? I've been asking that question. Where's all our money going? Well, we found out. Giving trans surgeries to some dude in Ethiopia. Well, they're also saving us more money, folks. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, we got a lot more news to cover. Oh, we're not going anywhere. We haven't gotten to the good stuff yet. We got The View coming up later on. Well, wait till you hear what they say. Cuckoo. We got a lot more news to cover. Hit that like button. Really does help support the show. I didn't even hit my own like button, so let me go back and hit my own like button. What am I doing, Brad? What a hypocrite. But I really do appreciate everybody in the chat. If you're new here, if you're coming over from TikTok, let me know. Welcome. It's good to see everybody. Blessed to have you all in the chat. Thank you, Mike. I see all of you folks. We got the best community here. Do we not? Do we not? There's no other streamer that knows all your names. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to find it. I know everybody. Donald Trump, baby. Boom. And the snap of fingers is just saving us millions of dollars every second. Department of Ed axes $15 million, baby, in federal grants used for DEI at 3 universities. Diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives took another hit, according to a new report released Friday by the Washington Free Beacon, when the U.S. Department of Education terminated $15 million in federal grants. By the way, that's just money gone. Just poof. You'll never see it again. That have been used to fund DEI programs. Oh, I'm sure. The 3 schools in question were California. Oh, yeah, there you go. There's one. California University, Los Angeles. Have you ever seen that? If you ever actually seen that campus, ugh, it is rough looking. Virginia Commonwealth University and University of St. Thomas in Minnesota. And the money was part of more than $1 billion spent by President Joe Biden's administration on school-related DEI programs. Man, what a rate of return we're getting on that one, huh? That is money well spent. I told you these leftists, these progressives, these psychos. There's a case to be made that Democrats aren't psychos. Sometimes they are. But it's really the ones that call themselves Democrats that are in actuality progressives. And I've been finding out that they're calling themselves progressive Democrats. It's the same people that say they're socialist Democrat. You're a socialist. In the same way, you're a progressive. You can put Democrat wherever you want. I'm a Democrat. Cookie Monster. The fuck does that even mean? So, my brain's not functioning this morning, but you get what I'm saying, okay? Don't come at me. You understand. It's a morning show and I haven't had all my coffee yet. I don't know where the Cookie Monster came from. All right, back to the news. Stop it. Ostensibly meant for teacher training and development, the grants were, in fact, used to support courses and workshops on DEI concepts, including white privilege. Systemic racism. Oh, gotcha. And linguistic supremacy. Holy lordy. Let's check this out. At the University of St. Thomas, a cultural assessment quiz asked teachers whether they understand how white privilege and racism affected me and others. This is something if I was given, I would just, my eyes would roll. My eyes would roll. What a waste of time. I've been in those meetings, you guys. I'm not kidding. After I became an accountant and I got in the education system, some of the meetings that you would go into in the public education system is completely baffling. It is so much money. There's so much money wasted. At the University of St. Thomas, a cultural assessment quiz asked teachers whether they understand how white privilege and racism affect me and others, according to a grant. Other expenditures included creating an equity and social justice center at California State University and programs in Virginia Commonwealth University that taught attendees about decolonizing the curriculum. Becoming an anti-racist educator. What you need to understand here, you see where it says white privilege? Where'd it go? Right here. What's interesting is they're talking about decolonizing, right? Anything. Anti-racist educator. If you actually read white privilege, which I don't recommend anybody to do so, and if you listen to like Nikolai Hannah Jones and Abram X. Kennedy, I think are their names. If you are white, you are racist. It's not like you could be as white as me and just not go out in the sun, but in actuality, you could actually tan. Like my hair used to be blonde and stuff, not like super blonde, but sandy blonde when I was a kid. You can go out and tan. No. If you have skin like mine, regardless of wherever you come from, you are racist. That's it. And that if you're not acknowledging your racism, well, that's because it's unconscious. Yeah, you have unconscious racism. How do you fix that? You don't. You stay racist. That's the mind-blowing thing. So why are they talking about becoming an anti-racist educator when the people that are pushing this whole agenda think that you can't be an anti-racist educator? You just have to continue to progress forward by not imposing these so-called racist decolonizing ideas upon the youth, which you're not doing in the first place, and that maybe one day you'll wake up to your racism even though you can't change it. It's so bonkers, man. It's cultish. As was noted, Trump has taken a special interest in rooting out DEI practices within the education system, saying in an earlier executive order, institutions of higher education have adopted and actively used dangerous, demeaning, and immoral race and sex-based preferences under the guise of so-called DEI. Absolutely correct. Hardworking Americans who deserve a shot at the American dream should not be stigmatized, demeaned, or shut down of opportunities because of their race and sex. If you closed your eyes, you would think Martin Luther King wrote that. It's true. People should not be demonized based on their race, based on their sex. This is bonkers. They've gone so far, you guys. This whole decolonizing curriculum, they believe the math curriculum that is taught is racist. They think algebra is racist. Now, I want to inform everybody, algebra is thousands of years old. Thousands. Comes from the Middle East. It has nothing to do with the white man. We just use and stand on the shoulders of giants that came up with algebra. That's why I always said people that struggle with algebra, you're struggling with something that people were able to understand with sticks and stones. I always say that to people. Your algebra is difficult because you're not putting enough time into it to understand it. If people that were using sticks and stones thousands of years ago were able to understand algebra and use it, I think we can get it today with all the technology we have. There's no excuses. But they're saying it's racist. Sure it is. Everything's racist according to them. Well, we got a legal win, folks, coming our way. We got a big legal win because they're trying to use federal judges, and they, meaning the Democrat Party, is trying to use federal judges to block Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance from doing what they want, the Three Musketeers. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, big time. Let's see what's going on here. I think we're having issues here with Rumble. So I want to take some time to talk about the people that are afraid to say something out loud. And what is that? Who's in control of our nukes? It's not Biden, and it wasn't Biden. Meanwhile, we have Russian ships still off the coast of Florida, by the way, and full-blown wars in Ukraine and Israel that we got to get sorted out. The world is still at its most unstable point since World War II. Donald Trump's trying to get things under control here. And with nuclear weapons, the stakes are 10 times higher, especially when Iranians are trying to get nuclear warheads. How do people like you and I stay safe? Well, thank God we got Donald Trump. That's a start in office. Now you need this right here. Every prepper needs to have RadioGuard Ace, the only FDA-approved drug to treat radioactive fallout. Only the feds had it until now, baby. That's why Rumble partnered with 5G Free, the only company in the world that has a supply of Radio Guard Ace and the ability to prescribe it. Get the radiation emergency kit with Radio Guard Ace, potassium iodide, Zofran, and a Geiger counter. There's simply no other tool in the arsenal to protect against a radioactive threat. China wants to harm you. The Iranians want to harm you. Hell, Russia might want to harm you. The freaking North Koreans want to harm you. All of them have, a lot of them, a nuclear warhead. Go to 5gfree.com, code studio to save 15% and get your radiation kit now. Again, go to 5gfree.com, use promo code studio to get your radiation kit now. Remember, it's not about actually dropping a nuke, a few hundred feet above ground and leveling a city. The plan is, and the reason why we know the plan is because, again, and maybe I should go back to some of these types of shows that I would do, is that we would play audio, we would find old documents and stuff of what the Chinese plan was. A lot of it was leaked. I mean, we went down to knowing which provinces in China would need to be stabilized. And if they weren't stabilized during a war, like say if they were to invade Taiwan, then it would completely cripple their supply chains. So that's how far in depth some of the stuff we used to go years ago on. So what they plan on doing is launching a nuke above our airspace that will cripple our energy field. And then you have a massive amount of Americans dying within like weeks. Massive. Like the percentage would throw you off. I think it was like 60% of Americans would die in like a month or some crazy number like that. Don't hold me to that, but it was some bonkers number. Let's get back into the news, folks. Let's get back into it. DOGE scores a legal win after labor union sues to stop access to view potential waste. Do you see what I mean? Labor union sues to stop access to view potential waste. All he has right now is the ability to view things and determine based on that observation if it's wasteful or not. And then what is expected to happen is, hey, let's go to the executive branch, show them our findings. Let's go to Congress, show them our findings. And the hope is we could do this fast enough to where we could still hold all three branches, of government and cut this crap out before, say, like a midterm or something, and seats get switched to where we no longer hold Congress anymore. And now we're fighting Congress for the next 2 years. This has to happen fast, you guys. And there's a small freaking window that we could do this. And that's why he's working so hard, because he understands that. Labor unions sued to stop the department's access to systems, largely over DOGE Chairman Elon Musk's involvement, citing a conflict of interest. U.S. Judge John Bates expressed concerns over DOGE's access, but said that unions failed to provide evidence of any legal injury. Correct. Kind of like that idea where Donald Trump put a legalized, itemized item on a legal expenditure, which was, and then the Democrats went up in arms and everybody was like, who got harmed? Who was bothered? Y'all remember that? The whole lawsuits? Oh, he did this or that. Nobody was injured. Nobody was harmed. Everybody was still begging on their feet. Mr. Trump, please work with us. And they still tried to throw the guy behind bars and get him a fine. Yeah, same thing here. They just, you know what's funny is at least the judge would look into it. At least the judge would look into it. Look, John Bates expressed concerns over DOGE's access, but said the unions failed to provide enough evidence of any legal injury. At least they really looked into it somewhat. Probably more than what they did with the 2020 election. They wouldn't even listen to it. Listen to a lot of Democrats now with zero evidence on a lot of stuff, to the point where they're just stopping some of Trump's movement. Although the court harbors concerns about defendants' alleged conduct, it must deny plaintiffs' motion at this time. The AFL-CIO, a union representing 800,000 government workers, called the ruling a setback, but not a defeat. I'm going to give a hot take right now. I don't think there should be public unions. I'll tell you why. Is because most of these unions go against the will of the people. And when they go against the will of the people, progress slows, wages go up, things don't get done. I'm not wrong. Look at any government worker out there. And I'm not saying the worker is lazy. What I'm saying is the system itself is lazy, to where they're always asking for money, more money, and nothing's ever getting done or resolved. Look at any sort of construction government worker out there. Look at Caltrans. I live in California. I never see them working. There's a road down my street, and I'm not exaggerating this one bit. A street, with pavement and asphalt. Years to get done. They're still not done. It's been 3 years. They still can't build a street. But don't worry, ask for more money. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's genius. You can't even build a fucking street in 2025 in time. But yeah, ask for more money. Go against the will of the people so that we have to shell out for more money for something that doesn't get done. If they were building stuff left and right, sure. Yeah, you deserve it. But every time, how often do we all drive on the highways and we're always looking around, seeing orange cones, all this machinery, nobody working. And we all assumed, oh, maybe they're working at night. As somebody that works 3 jobs, guess what? I don't get home till late. I'm still driving on the highways in the morning going to work, in the afternoon coming back from work, in the evening going back to work, and then now coming home from work late at night. Still nobody around. But let's ask for more money. Unbelievable. Now, Musk has become the subject of countless Democrats' attacks since exposing waste in the federal government. AOC, for example, said Musk is not smart, lacks intelligence. I'm going to read that because we covered it. AOC called Elon Musk not smart, lacks intelligence. AOC was a bartender. This is the lady that came up with the Green New Deal. In her Green New Deal, she called for basically revamping every building that existed, getting rid of trains, planes, automobiles, like that John Candy film. Folks, when I say Democrats are insane and they don't think about things, this is one of them. She's the idiot. She was a bartender. Nothing against bartenders. She's if you had her as a bartender, that's making other bartenders look bad. There was not enough money. When I say not enough money, I'm talking about there wasn't physically enough money on the United States to pay for what she wanted. And they just shout stuff. And where do I get why Democrats come up with this stuff? Is because we did a video a while ago that talked about reparations, because the reparations argument is back in play again. And they go, I want $200 million for every black person. And I did the math on that. And like I said, folks, there is not enough wealth on planet Earth. And I know this sounds crazy when I'm using this language, but I did the numbers. There is not enough wealth. If you stole it from every person on the planet to pay for something like that. This is what I mean when Democrats are the party of just shouting stuff to the skies and have no freaking clue what the hell they are talking about. Get rid of every building, plane, train, destroy our economy. And we elect them. Not us, right? We have our heads on straight. We're electing great people. It's Democrats, right? Chuck Schumer's an idiot. Ilhan Omar's an idiot. AOC's an idiot. Bernie Sanders is an idiot. By the way, all people that have only suckled at the government teat and never actually held a real job. And I guess AOC somewhat held a job. It's the same way that Bernie Sanders was a newspaper boy when he was like 5 years old with a little, bicycle with the training wheels on it for tossing newspapers. Yeah, that's all they've done. Whoa. While all of us are working multiple jobs trying to get by. Jesus. All right, we got the view, folks. We got the view coming up. Yeah, I'm going to subject you to it, but it's important. It's important that we highlight this because you get a glimpse of where things are in the progressive movement, but also where things are going. So it actually is really important to look at sites like this or shows like this because we get an insight of what their game plan is, because sometimes they show us their hand. So Sonny Hostin floated a conspiracy theory on Friday's show decrying the NFL's plan to remove the end zone end racism slogan that has presented on the field since 2021, claiming that it had been axed in an effort to appease President Donald Trump. No, it was an act that was there to ultimately make America great again and stop this conversation of saying that America is racist when in actuality it's the least racist country out there. Case in point, You have black people on a primetime show. It blows my mind when there's people. It was like Barack Obama talking about how racist America was when he was president. Black people are oppressed. It's like, dude, you're black. Your attorney general's black. There's senators that are black. There's freaking House of Representatives that are black. There's congressmen and women that are black. There's mayors that are black. It's like there's business owners that are black. There's millionaires that are black. Like, well, you can't do it. Like, what kind of message is that to black people? Unbelievable. Everybody has an opportunity here. It's what you do with those opportunities that makes the difference.
Yes.
And for the first time in history,
listen to this. Listen to the
a
crowd.
sitting president will be at the game. And it's already setting off.
Did you hear that? For the first time in history, a sitting president will be at the Super Bowl. Listen to the lady in the crowd. Oh my God. Listen.
A sitting president will be at the game. And it's already setting off controversies. Like after the NFL decided to edit their End Racism slogan in the end zone for Sunday's game, now it's going to read Choose Love. The NFL says it has nothing to do with the new president.
Oh, God.
Attending. What do you think of this rewrite?
I think this a little fishy and shady because what the NFL spokesperson said that he said the decision was based on sensitivity to recent tragedies, including the terrorist attack in New Orleans, the deadly wildfires in LA, and the fatal air collision near DC. And I think that those are very noble things to honor and discuss, but I don't know how Choose Love, and It Takes All of Us, relates to that. So it seems to me like the End Racism probably has a lot to do with the fact that the sitting president is there. And I don't know what everyone at this table thinks, but I don't think racism is over. And I think that it is a very noble thing to want to end racism so that we can become a more perfect union.
She has a law degree. If you ever wanted to get a law degree, go back to school, I'm telling you, the education system is so deteriorated that if you're like, I'm not smart enough, I don't think I can do it. The bar is so, you guys need to listen to me. I promise you, the bar is so low nowadays in the education system. Now would be the time to do it. It is so low. You could walk out of there and not learn anything and still get a degree in something and pass the bar exam. There's a reason. I'm telling you, you got to do it. I know some of you actually went back to school because you've emailed me, and shout out to all of you, but there is no education anymore. You just show up, tie your shoes and not drool, and you're good. God, she talks like an idiot. The sad thing is she's not a full-blown idiot. It's just on the show, she just acts like one. So here is Farrah Griffin pops the conspiracy bubble by touting how NFL Commissioner Rod Goodell promised to stick with racist DEI policies. She also said hashtag activism is lazy.
Roger Goodell actually came out and said that he wasn't going to be ending DEI after a lot of major companies in America were saying that they were going to roll back some DEI. Roger Goodell, the chairman of the NFL, said that he I had to double check that. Said that he wouldn't be. So and because of that, I'm not sure that I would be able to assign motive that this is some kind of a change to appease Donald Trump because he's not in the actual action of the policy. I kind of saw it as maybe more all-encompassing of a number of tragedies and hardships that the country's dealing with. It's been a brutal month. Like, think of everything that's happened. I hate to say this, like, I was thinking, oh, yes, it's in New Orleans. It was just a month ago there was this massive terrorist attack. So I'm going to not jump to the decision there that it may have been to try to appease him. I will say this. I generally don't like hashtag activism because I think that it could become a lazy way to not actually engage in the space. That said, I would question myself on that because I try to wear the hostage pin every day. This isn't freeing the hostages, but it's a little thing that means so much to the community it represents. So
not everything she said there was wrong. But what's interesting is they talk about end racism, right? And that everything should be diversity, equity, and inclusion. Isn't the majority of the NFL and NBA predominantly black people? Name an Asian person playing in the NFL. Somebody go right now. Anybody. There's hundreds of people in here. Folks, we get like 24,000 views a month. It's good for our channel. Anybody want to, don't even Google it. Just drop a Asian person's name. Any Asian. It doesn't matter what type of Asian it is. Just name an Asian person playing in the NFL. Go. Case made. Case made. We got to end racism. No, how about we end affirmative action? How about we end this whole race talk at all and allow people to, if they're given opportunities, to take those opportunities or find opportunities out there? I'll give you a prime example, folks. I could be somebody that just listens to the Daily Wire or listens to, it doesn't matter the podcasts out there. It could be Steven Crowder. It could be The Quartering. It doesn't matter who it is. I could listen to all these people and not do a show myself. But nothing was stopping me from doing a show myself other than putting my career on the line. But I'm going to do it anyways because I think I have a right to freedom of speech and I believe in those values to do a show and I find it fun. I could take an opportunity and create one myself. Anybody could do it. Well, Ana Navarro predicts Trump will sign executive order banning black people from Super Bowl halftime.
Sports, you know I don't do football, so I wasn't watching the game. But listen, I think today Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order banning black people from halftime. Because you remember last week we were talking about whether the NFL was capitulating to Trump by removing the term end racism from the end zone. Yeah. Boy, did they not capitulate to Trump. When I saw Samuel L. Jackson dressed as a black Uncle Sam introducing Kendrick Lamar, who then had like an entire formation of all black people making a U.S. flag. Listen, this much I know.
Do you see that they don't understand? There's no reflection. I have no qualms with, I didn't watch the halftime show. It's not my type of music. No qualms with it being all black people. We all have problems with the hypocrisy that comes from the progressive left. You were demanding for years and still are that everything needs to be equal in terms of race. So if it's 13% of the population needs to be black people, your corporation, your board of directors needs to be 13% black. If your staffing is not 13% black, well, you're racist and you're oppressing black people. If it's not 40% whites, well, now you're oppressing white people, but yet white people can't be oppressed because they were the oppressors and the colonizers for so many years. This is what they do. Can you imagine? Let's just all pretend that it was all white people on that field, creating an American flag and having a white person wearing Samuel L. Jackson's outfit, Uncle Sam, who has always been white. What would they say? Oh, look, the lack of diversity, not a single black person on the field. How could they? What a racist. They're just trying to appease Trump, a racist. It makes sense. Look at his white supremacy. It really goes in line to what Elon Musk did by doing a alleged Nazi salute when in actuality he was throwing his heart to the people. This is the crap they pull, and they don't see it. There's millions of people that are sitting on the couch eating bonbons like we saw Peg Bundy do, that don't have their head on straight, that are soaking all this stuff in, and they're idiots. And that's why they say stuff like this. The View host Sunny Hostin complained during Monday's show just yesterday about some resurfacing racial charged post made by one of the young men billionaire entrepreneur, Elon Musk, brought into work on the Department of DOGE. So we brought that up earlier in the show where they rehired the guy, and here she is losing it.
Of course, I agree with everyone. I didn't realize racism was okay. I've often said I've never met a racist that says, hi, I'm a racist. Now I have met a racist that says, hi, I'm a racist. But I will say
That's how much racism has diminished, you idiot. The lack of historical knowledge is just so, it's like, it kills me. I'm not saying every racist was like that back in the day, but people would just straight up tell you, they'd look at a black person, get out of my store, and they would call him a bad name, right? Come on, man.
Say this, I'm so tired of this notion that a white man doing something like this at age 25 is a kid doing it. Because your frontal lobe is fully developed at 25.
Not necessarily true. But she is correct that, hey, this guy's a 25-year-old saying stupid stuff. But welcome to the lack of development in our children nowadays. So she's kind of wrong here. And I know I keep pausing it, but it is something important. She's going off of, and a lot of Americans make this mistake, and I'm actually not going to beat her up fully here, is thinking that, oh, because somebody's a 25-year-old, 18 to 25, that they're a grown adult. Yes, they are a grown adult. But the kids nowadays were, I'd say the tail end on the distribution, the tail end of my generation was the last generation that was really raised by parents. After that, everything's been raised from the internet. These streamers to these influencers to these podcasters to the people that are watching video games. That's what's raising your kid. All this entertainment's raising your kid. You're not doing it. That's why they call them iPad kids. That's why everybody just pops on a movie for their kid. They don't want to actually raise them. They don't want to take them out in the wilderness camping anymore. They don't want to put them in Boy Scouts anymore. They don't want them going out and doing things, harming themselves, getting themselves dirty, touching grass anymore. It's, hey, let's put on this, or here's a $60 video game because I want you to shut the hell up. So it makes sense why this kid went to 25, was probably acting like a teenager, because he is still technically a teenager mentally, even with the brain fully developed. So she is partially right here, but also partially wrong.
You are a graduate of Rutgers University.
Doesn't mean
you're
anything.
an engineer. You have had several positions, jobs with Elon Musk. You are not a kid. You are a man. And so this notion that, oh, well, he made childish and mistakes and it shouldn't ruin his life because he's just a kid. Really, there's a juxtaposition which how they do treat Black boys. Black kids are often, treated as adults when they actually are children. So I really, really noticed that. And the other thing I'll say is, the engineering dog team under Elon Musk.
Doggy.
The doggy
Yes.
team. The oldest person is 25. Mm-hmm. They range in age from 19 to 25.
Yeah.
And they are the ones that have the access to our most serious, sensitive information.
No,
they have no real work experience. What happened to meritocracy? What happened to that?
They don't have a lot of life experience. No, but
They
I'm
don't have
actually
life
fine with
experience.
25-year-old engineers if they're qualified as engineers. But then to Sonny's point, you don't get to say, oh, but he's a kid when he does something stupid. Either you are a savant engineer and you're going to take responsibility when you do things wrong, or you have no business being in the job.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I'm sorry. I never understood. This is the reason why I think they're saying this, and maybe it's because I grew up in sports. Everybody knows that grown men, we tend to act like boys every now and then. The stuff that comes out of our mouths, locker room talk, jokes, is not exactly something that's polished, but we are able to act professional when we need to at a professional setting. For case in point, I don't talk politics at my work because I'm an educator. I don't want to have a conversation with a 17 or 18-year-old about politics. Now, if it has something to do with what they're learning in another class, like economics or finance, sure, because that's a class that they're taking, and that's my major is accounting, and I can help them understand the content they're learning without talking about politics. I act different at work than I do, say, here on the show. Even the show itself is entertainment. I've told you guys for years that I'm an introvert. I'm not like this in real life. If you were to talk to me, I am really self-reserved, a quiet guy. I sit in the corner. I mind my own business. I don't bother anybody. I am not this energetic person in real life I pretend to be. Because it's a show. You need entertainment. You want people engaged. You want them going, baby. But I don't act like this anywhere else. That guy said something stupid. We've all done it. Life goes on. Just because you said something stupid doesn't make you not capable of doing said job. let's say I said something stupid. That doesn't mean I'm not able to go look at some sort of financial statement or audit a company when I was previously an auditor and go, okay, yeah, there's a level of materiality that's not okay here. I'm capable of doing that and saying something stupid at the same time, but they're acting like you're not able to do it. Folks, their whole show's predicated on that. They do nothing but say stupid shit all the time, every day, and they still get to do the show. What is their excuse for all being older aged women that don't have their head on straight, able to say stupid stuff all the time, and still get to do a show that they're not capable of actually doing because they say stupid stuff? There, Emmy gets it. Yeah, we all say something stupid every day, something that's not worthy. But they get away with it. It's okay for them because remember, they're holier than thou. They're better than the rest of us. We're just peasants to these kings and queens. Freaking just annoying. Just annoying. Unbelievable. Hit that like button, folks, if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Appreciate all of you in the chat. Appreciate all you patriots. Pete Hegseth's back in the news. Pete Hegseth, diversity is our strength, is the single dumbest phrase in military history. This is a little bit of old news. It's something I've been kind of sitting on for the last few days in my tabs. But here's the man doing a town hall. Pete Hegseth doing a town hall with, I believe it was military personnel.
The single dumbest phrase in military history is our diversity is our strength. I think our strength is our unity. Our strength is our shared purpose, regardless of our background, regardless of how we grew up, regardless of our gender, regardless of our race. In this department, we will treat everyone equally. We will treat everyone with fairness. We will treat everyone with respect. And we will judge you as an individual by your merit and by your commitment to the team and the mission.
Hey, Pete, just want to say something here really quick. Get this guy on some PT. She needs some PT. He needs some PT. He needs some PT. She looks okay. He needs some PT. He needs some PT. This guy looks okay. He needs some PT. Why are all these people out of shape? We have the greatest military force out there. And I don't want to hound our military personnel, but I'm just saying if you put them up against like a Chinese looking guy, you're going to see a Chinese looking guy chubbed out, ready to storm the beaches of freaking Normandy. There is a, I want to make sure I get to this here, but I do want to find, I had a clip of Pete Hegseth where he landed in Germany. I want to see if I can find it. God, I have so much news to cover. So here he is. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and his wife just landed in Germany after opting to skip the Munich Security Conference to instead talk to American troops throughout Europe, including Poland and Belgium. This is the quote that just had me stoked last night. I would much rather talk to troops than go to cocktail parties.
With me to, we're going to the NATO ministerial we're not going to the Munich Security Conference. We're instead going to Poland to see the troops out there. And we're going to Germany to see EUCOM and AFRICOM.
I'm all about that.
Much rather.
Look how stoked that dude is. Look how stoked that guy is.
My wife's going to be traveling with.
This guy couldn't have been smiling enough, man. That's what I'm talking about, Pete. Love that, dude. Going out. You don't understand. This is important. Get out there, talk to the troops, let them know who their leader is. Let them know who has the authority to freaking send them into battle and sacrifice their life, God forbid. Pete gets it, man. Man, I got goosebumps I just have goosebumps from that one clip, my whole body. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. Protect our military, our troops. Make sure you take care of them, brother. I also want to make sure I get to this. Meet the criminal illegal aliens arrested this weekend. Murderers, rapists, and gang members. I got the pictures for you. ICE Atlanta arrest this dude, a Nigerian illegal alien convicted of money laundering in Utah, where he was sentenced to 26 months in prison. Get him out of here. Tarbox, thank you so much. Good show, Brad, and everyone have a great day. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Jason. Look at that. I even know the guy's first name. I know my people. Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate that. Ice San Antonio. You got this guy right here. What'd he go for? Oh, convicted of assault and sentenced to 6 months in prison. Remember, I'm gonna say this till I'm blue in the face. I know I'm beating a dead horse with it. We were told these people are just here for a better life. They just couldn't make it because of drought, famine. We were told it was climate change is why they came here. Who said that? Kamala Harris did. No, they're here for a better life. They would never do something like this, you guys. They would never rape somebody. They would never murder somebody. Are you crazy? That's cheap fakes and deep fakes. You guys shouldn't be talking like that. That's misinformation, disinformation. And we're going to use your taxpayer dollars to suppress your asses through big tech so that you can't spread that misinformation, disinformation. Instead, in reality, by the way, we were telling the truth over the last 4 years, and YouTube is still suppressing our channel when we try to speak truth to the American people. You want to know why I don't put hashtag Republican in any of my tags? You guys want to know? If I was to run ads with hashtag Republican, guess what? You can't do it. It's blocked. How about that one? I haven't told you guys that over the last 3 years, have I? There's a lot of stuff I haven't told you that I deal with the bullshit on the back end, that they're suppressing the channel. Yeah, you can't put hashtag Republican. You can, it will appear, but not running ads, you can't. You can't use that word in tags when you're running ads through Google Ads. I could put hashtag Republican in here, but because I know that Google doesn't allow it on Google Ads, why in God's green earth would I use it here? Because every video I put hashtag Republican in, bombs. Why do you think that is? Keyword trigger, keyword, we're not going to send your video out there. Here's some more people. Look at this. Look at this. Willful cruelty to a child and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Well, Democrats want them here because they're all about cruelty to children. They love having these rapists here, these murderers, these violent gang members, these people that want to indoctrinate your children. They love all of this stuff. They're salivating over it. Federal agents apprehend illegal alien who was convicted of rape and sentenced to 10 years probation. Oh, just get the rape people, huh? No big deal. Peace out, brother. You got 10 years probation. Charged with criminal possession of a controlled substance in the state of New York. Oh, I mean, you guys, the list just keeps going on and on and on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, I think we might have to do an afternoon show here because I have a lot more news to cover. A lot more news to cover. So you know what? I think as long as I have the energy, we'll be back here this evening for another episode of The Bald Brad Show to cover all the news that I'm still not able to get to. We still have more illegal alien news. We still have more DOGE news. I still have Donald Trump news. I have Tom Homan news. I have Congress news. I have so much stuff that we're going to have to come back today. So I hope all of you join me maybe around 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't hold me to that, but that's going to be my game plan. With that being said, I hope all of you have a lovely day. I got to get to work. Thank you to everybody that contributed to the show, both on Rumble and YouTube. You guys are extremely generous people. We do have a book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. The book is out. You can get yourself a copy on Amazon. It is a discount right now. Great gift idea. Again, great gift idea for other patriots. Other than that, I hope all of you have a blessed day. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. And hell, honestly, just pray for even our enemies that they'll wake up and not be an enemy anymore. Hell, I don't know. But with that being said, love y'all. Take care of one another. Adios, patriots.